Hello, today I'll be doing the underground challenge, but I'll be riding every single underground line in London. We're currently in Shepherd's Bush Station. We'll be taking the Central Line train eastbound to Holborn. Currently on the Central Line train on the way to Holborn. We've just stopped at Holland Park. We've just reached Holborn. We're now going to take the Piccadilly Line train to Piccadilly Circus. We're currently transiting from the Central Line to the Piccadilly Line in Holborn. This is our Piccadilly Line train. We're at Piccadilly Circus on our way out of the station. We're taking a pit stop at Trafalgar Square, which is where the Lord Nelson's column is. After the Trafalgar Square pit stop, we'll come back to Piccadilly Circus and we'll be taking the Bakerloo line to Oxford Circus and then the Victoria line to King's Cross. At King's Cross, we'll be looking at platform 9 3/4 and the main station. We're currently at Trafalgar Square. The Lord Nelson statue is just over there. After this, we'll be going to Charing Cross. We're currently walking to Charing Cross. There's been a change of plans because Trafalgar Square is nearest to Charing Cross. We'll be taking the Bakerloo line to northbound to Oxford Circus. We're currently in Charing Cross station. We used the National Station entrance because the Charing Cross Underground stations next to Trafalgar Square are currently closed till autumn 2025. We're currently on our way to the Bakerloo line platforms. We'll be taking the Bakerloo line 2 stops northbound to Oxford Circus. We're currently on the Bakerloo line northbound platforms on Charing Cross. There's mining delays on the Bakerloo line today, so it will be 5 minutes till our train arrives. We take the train northbound 2 stops to Oxford Circus. We're currently at Oxford Circus on the Victoria Line platform. Our train is just here.
The Northern Line.
We're on the Victoria Line northbound on the way to King's Cross. We're currently at Warren Street. We've just left the Victoria Line and we're at King's Cross St Pancras. We're going to have lunch here for a break and we're also going to see platform 9 3/4 from Harry Potter and the main station. We're at King's Cross St Pancras International Station. We're in the main ticket hall station and behind us we have all the trains departing. There are LNER trains and there's a Eurostar over there. We're here at King's Cross. This is the ticket hall and where all the shops are. Over there is the underground station and over here is platform 9 3/4 where Harry Potter was filmed, where Harry and all the other students at Hogwarts went in to platform 9 3/4 to go on the Hogwarts Express. We're currently heading down the escalator in King's Cross station to the Northern Line platforms. We'll be taking it 3 stops to Moorgate. We're on our southbound Northern Line train heading to Moorgate. At Moorgate, we'll switch onto the Hammersmith and City line. We're currently at Moorgate. We'll be taking a Hammersmith and City line westbound to Baker Street. We're here at Moorgate, and this is the Hammersmith and City, Metropolitan and Circle Line platforms. It's very confusing because all these lines use the same trains, so I don't recommend going to these types of stations. Our train should be here anytime soon. We'll be taking a Hammersmith and City Line train to Baker Street. We're on a Hammersmith and City Line train and we're on our way to Baker Street. We're in Baker Street and we're currently heading down the platform to the Jubilee lines. We'll be taking the Jubilee line to Green Park. We're currently on the Jubilee line on the way to Green Park. At Green Park we'll stop and go into a chocolate shop before we then continue our journey. We're currently heading out of Green Park station. We're just going to stop at a chocolate shop and then we're going to continue our journey by taking the Jubilee line again northbound to Bond Street. We're heading down Green Park station to the Jubilee line. We'll be taking it one stop northbound to Bond Street. We've just come up the Jubilee platforms. Now we're going to be heading to the Elizabeth line. We'll be taking the Elizabeth line eastbound to Farringdon. We're on an Elizabeth line train to Farringdon.
Metropolitan line, Hammersmith and City line.
The Elizabeth line is the newest line on the tube map. It was created for Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee. We've just come off the Elizabeth line. We'll now be taking the Metropolitan line westbound to Paddington. We're currently on our Metropolitan line westbound train to Paddington. Hello, we're back at Baker Street and we'll be taking a Bakerloo line southbound to Waterloo. We've just come out of the Bakerloo line platform in Waterloo. Now we're heading to the Waterloo and City platforms and we'll take it to Bank. We're here on the platform of the Waterloo and City line trains in Waterloo. This train was purposely made for the bankers to get from Waterloo to Bank. This is our Waterloo and City line train. We are currently on the Waterloo and City line train to Bank. This train only has one stop because it's from Waterloo to Bank to help the bankers go direct from Waterloo to Bank. We've just come off the Waterloo and City line and we're now at Bank. We'll now be taking the Central line westbound to Notting Hill Gate. So far, we've taken most of the underground railways. We've just now got to take the District and Circle lines. When we get to Notting Hill Gate, we'll take the District line to High Street Kensington and then the Circle line back up to Notting Hill Gate. After that, we'll take the Central line, again westbound, 2 stops to Shepherd's Bush, where we will end our adventure. At Bank Station, there's a curve in the platform to avoid the train going underneath the bank in London. We've just left the Central Line platforms and we're heading to the Circle and District Line platforms. We will take the Circle Line southbound to High Street Kensington and the District Line northbound back here. We've just come off the Circle line and now at the High Street Kensington District line station. We'll be going back up to North Notting Hill Gate. We've just come off the District line, which makes it a complete journey. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to go on the London Overground, DLR or Docklands Light Railway and the IFS cable car. We'll now be just taking the Central line to go back to Shepherd's Bush where we started. We have reached Shepherd's Bush, our final station. We've covered most of the underground lines today. Thanks for watching. Bye.